I really liked the movie, but I also knew the movie that I was going to see. So you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to this type of genre. So,
ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and I'm here to do a quick review for Godzilla vs. Kong. This is the big one. This is the one that they've been setting up for a couple years, and I finally got to watch the two behemoth titans clash. Yeah! So this is going to be a little bit different. It's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling certain things in the movie, so I'm not calling this a spoiler review because I don't want to spoil everything. I do want you to kind of check out the movie. You got to know the movie that you're going to see. It is a giant monster slamming against each other in buildings type of movie. Don't expect Shakespearean acting or any Oscar-worthy performances in this movie. You have been warned. It's that kind of movie. I do think the movie was fun. I enjoyed it. I have some thoughts which I want to talk about. So if I happen to think I'm going to potentially spoil something from the movie, you will see probably Godzilla pop up someplace on screen. That's going to be your spoiler warning for what I'm about to say. As long as Godzilla is on screen, I'm talking about a potential spoiler from the movie. So you've been warned. Just check it out. I'll try to keep most of the non-spoiler stuff at the beginning, and then I'll jump into a couple things towards the end just to give my true feelings on the movie and the franchise as a whole, because I think this is probably the best one of the Godzilla and Kong type stuff. I think it gave me what I was really craving in terms of that kaiju class giant monster bash type movie, and I wasn't disappointed, but there are elements of it that I'm like, that was dumb, but you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to this movie. So you've been warned. Any spoilers that I might say, Godzilla will pop up someplace on screen. So, Godzilla vs. Kong is the climactic clash between Godzilla and King Kong that was teased in Godzilla, which came out in, I want to say, 2017. And then Kong Skull Island continued that, I want to say, in like 2018. And then we did get Godzilla King of the Monsters in 2019. So every year we've gotten a new Monsterverse movie. Yeah. The movie does really focus on King Kong, or Kong. He's not really King Kong. Maybe by the end of the movie he's considered King Kong. But for most of the movie he's just considered Kong. And it really does focus on him because we've only really seen Kong when he was younger, so to speak, in Kong Skull Island. That was like the teenage or the adolescent version. This is more so the adult version. So he is considerably bigger and more on par with Godzilla in terms of their clash. You got to understand when it comes to these, like, you have two popular franchise characters, so to speak, you're not really going to have a clear winner. And there really isn't a clear winner, because it's very reminiscent of like the formula of like your Batman versus Superman, where we're going to clash and then you're going to have a foe who is going to be where we have to put our differences aside and team up to take down the titanic force of said creature. I think the action or the fighting between them was really well done. I really liked it. It's ridiculous on certain levels. Like, they're fighting on an aircraft carrier. They're fighting in Hong Kong. And King Kong is wielding a freaking axe. It's ridiculously fun. We get more of the Hollow Earth sort of lore and expansion of that section of the universe. We actually get to go to Hollow Earth, which I think looked really cool. And it really had that Land of the Lost vibe that I think Hollow Earth is technically giving off in terms of the concept that it's had for years. So I really like those aspects of the movie. We did focus on Kong a lot. Godzilla in the movie is very much kind of an antagonist, so to speak. It should have been called Kong versus Godzilla. Is kind of the vibe I got from the movie. It's not saying that Godzilla was the bad guy. He was very much the antagonist. See, he starts attacking different facilities because he's looking for something. And I'll talk about that something in a minute. But he's looking for something, and then you have the human element, which I've said in all of these review videos for these Monsterverse movies. The human element is just there to be our gateway into this world of monsters, and it is the least interesting part of the movie. I gotta say, again, with this one compared to like King of the Monsters, there's only one person I even cared about if they lived or died, and that was the little deaf girl who was Kong's friend, and he could communicate with her, and he kind of felt he had to protect her. So she was the only one I kind of cared about. Maybe the scientist lady, I forget the actress's name, but she was Maya Hansen in Iron Man 3. That lady. I think those were the only two I cared about. Everyone else is very one-dimensional. The other scientist, the male scientist who was on TV, again, can barely tell you most of the people in terms of actors. I can tell you some, but I couldn't tell you a character name. The male scientist who was coerced by Apex, who is the rival organization to Monarch. Apex is kind of the antagonist as well in this movie. Again, Godzilla and Kong are your Batman, Superman. It's very loose reasons why they're fighting. It's just because they're both alphas. Until something bigger shows up that they have to put their differences aside and kind of team up against. This is kind of Kong's movie. Godzilla, I would say, is probably one up on in terms of power. He can fire atomic breath. I mean, there really didn't seem like a real even playing field between the two, but again, you got to have your monsters clash. The human element is completely pointless in this movie. There are moments in this movie where I'm like, you should have died, plain and simple. There's no reason you should have survived, and that mostly goes with the humans on Team Godzilla's side, which is Millie Bobby Brown, who was reprising her role from Godzilla King of the Monsters. They brought the kid from Deadpool 2. I forgot his name. It's right here. And they also had, I think it was Michael Tyree Henry or something like that. Sorry, it's the brother who's the conspiracy theorist in the movie, who I gotta say is the least interesting part of this movie. The character is way too over the top, and it kind of took me out of it a couple times. And there are moments when I'm like, y'all should have died. There is no excuse that you survived and no one else did. Just gotta be real with you on that one. So overall, I knew the movie I was getting. I knew the concept of the movie. I cared about the Kong versus Godzilla versus our other one, and that's what I really cared about. The human element, which again, it sounds so cheap to say human element, but it is the human element of the movie. They've never really been good. I think the best person was Dr. Serizawa. I'm sorry, I'm screwing up the name, but he was the one in the movie that was like, let them fight. That guy who blew himself up in the second one because he didn't want to be in the movies anymore. He was the best human character, I think, in any of the movies, in all honesty. So, non-spoiler out the way, here comes Godzilla. So, again, very similar to Batman versus Superman, you have to have something to get your two big titans to work together, and that was Mechagodzilla. They kind of spoiled it a little bit, or they dropped teases in the trailers and stuff, but Mechagodzilla is the main villain of the third act, and the reason that Kong and Godzilla have to put aside their differences, even though technically Godzilla won their best of three, because they kind of have a best of three series in the movie. The first one is when they're fighting on the aircraft carrier, and Godzilla kind of technically wins, but Kong has to play dead in order to keep Godzilla from going ape shit for some reason. But Godzilla, the whole reason he's attacking these facilities because he's looking for Mechagodzilla. He knows that they're using the remains of King Ghidorah to make Mechagodzilla. And one thing about the movie that didn't make sense was like, besides the little girl, who was probably the most interesting character human-wise in the movie, the other interesting character was they had the son of Dr. Serizawa, who created Mechagodzilla, and they didn't really expand on that at all. That he would have been the most interesting one because your father sacrificed himself for Godzilla, and now you're creating a mecha version to destroy Godzilla. There's a story there, and they just didn't do anything about it. That's one of my biggest gripes about the movie. Is like, you had a story there to use that character, and you just kind of wasted him. So round 1 kind of went to Godzilla from the aircraft carrier. Round 2, Kong picked up that win after he went to Hollow Earth and got his axe, which again, the axe is one of the dopest parts of the movie. And round 3 technically went to Godzilla again, but then Godzilla was getting his ass beat by Mechagodzilla, and it was like, hey dude, can you tag in, please? You just broke my arm, and you want me to tag in. Like, what the fuck? But, oh, again, it's dumb reasons to get them to team up. I thought the third act was really well done. It was a lot of fun. Mechagodzilla was cool. I liked how Kong kind of took him down and overall, I guess, won. But I don't know where the franchise is going to go from here. You've already had them fight. Godzilla is cool now. Kong is in Hollow Earth. Where do you go from there? I don't know. I think you can do more, but I don't know if it would be kind of redundant at this point. So I don't know if this was the end. I enjoyed it. I did. I think it was the best of the revamped MonsterVerse movies. But overall, I would say check out Godzilla vs. Kong. It's less than 2 hours, so it's just no Justice League. So you're not going to have to commit to a quarter of your day to watch the movie. Understand, though, if you like giant monsters trashing cities and a bunch of crazy action, understand that that's what this movie is. If you're going for any sort of really great performances and stuff like that from actors, you probably won't get it, but who knows? Maybe you'll connect more with them than I did. But overall, I did like the movie. I would probably watch it again. I would say check it out, but understand the type of movie that you're getting into before you check it out. Just so you're not wasting 2 hours of your life if you're not interested in watching a giant monkey jam a handle of an axe down a lizard's throat to keep him from firing his atomic breath. So that's my quick spoilers quick review of Godzilla vs. Kong. Have you seen it? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the movie. If you do talk spoilers, just give a spoiler warning down there. Just be courteous to other people. You can follow me on all the social media that's listed at the end of this video. You can like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. I'd like to get to like 300 subscribers by the end of the year, if possible. That'd be great. It'd be fun. It'd be great. You can check out my smiley face. That's fine. Hopefully I'll be back home with my next batch of videos. This hotel background isn't necessarily the greatest, but hopefully you would have enjoyed this video and you have commented and subscribed. But until next time, I will catch you later. Rawr. That's supposed to be Godzilla. Rawr. Whatever. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.